The law of repulsion, the other side of the law of attraction. See, obviously there's a lot, sorry, it's on my tongue. Obviously there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of publicity. There's a lot of awareness around the law of attraction. Now, if you don't know exactly what a law of attraction is, all it means is like attracts like. If you think good things, you're on a frequency, you're on an emotional, energetic alignment, you're on a vibration, if you will, where your mind is going to attract, your heart is going to pull more things that are of likeful mindedness. Does that make sense? Now, this is going to be a pretty awesome call. Sorry, excuse me, I run a lot of calls. This is going to be a very awesome video. The way that I want my YouTube channel to be is very authentic. I want it to feel good. I don't really care for the high edits and the high jump cuts and the captions and all of that. This is going to be very straightforward. It's going to be very implementable, but I promise you the value is impriceable. There's no price that you can put on this. Now, before we get into the law of repulsion, again, I want to give a little bit more light to the law of attraction. So like attracts like. You think good things, you get good things. You think bad things, you get bad things. There's a quote, many quotes that kind of summarize this, but what you think about, my friend, is what you bring about. You get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. I once had a mentor that was helping me via my business, and I spent a whole bunch of money, a whole boatload of money in order to help this specific business or help my business at the time scale, because I was already exceeding some pretty awesome numbers, but I wanted obviously more. I wanted to grow, I wanted to scale. And then every one of my clients started leaving the business, leaving the company. My employees, I couldn't pay them anymore. And then on top of that, my systems, my strategies, and my systems were not working anymore. The ones that helped me, yeah, they weren't working anymore. And it got to a point where I was realizing, okay, this is really bad, because then what did I do? At that time, I didn't know any better. So what I started to do was work harder. What I started to do was try more. What I started to do was hustle and sacrifice and struggle. And let me tell you, because of law of attraction, the only thing I got out of that was more reasons why I had to sacrifice, more reasons why I had to struggle, and more reasons why everything that I was focusing on was happening and coming and representing itself on a consistent basis. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever decided that you wanted something and then the exact opposite happens? So then what do? You go work harder. You go do more of what did work, and then inadvertently or unfortunately, you get the exact opposite of what it is that you desire. This is why, my friends, it is because of the law of repulsion. Now again, another quote. By the way, put this in the comments if you're still with me. I get what I focus on, whether I want it or not. See, what ended up happening is instead of me focusing on the things that I should have been focusing on when my business was headed right to the frickin', death train, it was horrible, I focused on the lack of the thing that I wanted. So it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter how many hours I put in. It did not matter what new tactic, strategy, ad creative that I came out with. I was operating within the energy of two things. Number one, repulsion. And number two, I was operating in the energy of pedestalization. See, what was going on was I was focused on what I was not getting. Remember the quote? You get what you focus on, whether you want it or not. Right? So instead of me being focused on what was going right, instead of me being focused on the opportunities at hand, instead of me being focused on controlling the definitions, the meanings, and the stories, I was focused on everything going wrong. I was focused on what was not going right, and then therefore I was attracting the like-mindedness based off the focus that I had. So, let me go ahead and rewrap this in a way that's going to be a little bit more better for you to understand. Your observation is your manifestation. Whatever you focus on, you're going to get whether you want it or not. My mentor at the time said, Brandon, I need you to love what it's like to be rich more than you hate what it feels like to be broke. Huge. Now, why is that? It's because if I am only focused on what's going wrong and my feeling state, my attention, my intention is not pulling from that negative focus, then my feeling is being preoccupied real-time occupied, and future occupied consistently. Therefore, how can I get a different reality where everything is going right if the only thing I've been is focused on everything that's going wrong and then feeling wrong about everything that's going wrong and then worrying and panicking? Remember that second energy? Pedestalization. See, I took myself and my joy and my positivity and my happiness and my faith off of the pedestal. What an idiot. And I put getting clients, getting money, saving my business, paying my bills on the pedestal. And this is why you must understand this thing called the Law of Repulsion. Put it in the freaking comments. See, the Law of Repulsion essentially states whatever holds too much energy will simply be repelled away from the thing, the said thing, that's applying the out-of-place energy. Now, you see this all the time with beautiful women, okay? I know there's a lot of beautiful women probably watching this beautiful face, and it happens for men as well. But ladies, you tell me in the comments, have you ever had it to where you had just such an ick because there's so many guys in your DMs just flooding your DMs? Hey, how's it going? You're so beautiful. And while at first it may have been complimenting, now it's almost repulsive. Basically because it is repulsive. Now watch, ladies. You know how, let's say you go out to a party, you go out on the town, you go out in the apps, whatever it is, to the workplace, and all these guys are paying attention to you besides one. And that one guy isn't even paying attention to you, but you can only be so attracted to that individual because all you want is his attention, but you're getting everybody else's. You've seen that, right? You've probably experienced that, right? It's because that gentleman is not putting out of place energy on you or on the girl. Therefore, it becomes extremely attractive because that gentleman has pedestalized himself, his goals, his vision. And that is what is attractive. It's not a neediness. It's an invitation, right? It's attraction. Whereas all the guys that are putting you on that pedestal, right? You can feel how ick it is. You can feel how out of place. There's no power. It's not attractive. It's repulsive. Now, this is what's amazing. It's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with opportunity. It's the same thing with anything that you desire. Now, what is the behind the scenes lesson here? You have God within you, and whatever you choose to focus on, if you are not that thing, you are repelling away all things. Let me tell you this, the power of God is within you. Law of attraction is within you. The best way for you to get the woman or the man, my friend, is very simple. Be in love with yourself. Be focused on yourself. See yourself as the ultimate, the alpha, the omega, the most prosperous, victorious, generous, outrageously handsome or beautiful individual. Believe that you are literally the greatest thing on this planet since Jesus. And to those that have, more is given. So, anything you want that's on the outside of you, I promise you, if you can find the emotional familiarity to already having it here, then like attracts like. You went from repelling it to attracting it, and it is done. Now, I don't want this video to go for too long. Hopefully this was able to give you a whole bunch of value. I know it was. If you feel inclined, hit the subscribe button. This is the infancy of this channel. Feel free to hit some likes, leave some comments and questions. If you want to work closer with me, if you want to understand these actual laws and how I've been able to manifest what I have, listen, I'm the best at this, and this is what I do. So I don't want this video to go too long. I appreciate you. I got my timer for 10 minutes, so I got to go ahead and cut this out. Rewatch this video, study this video, but most of all, keep yourself on the pedestal and attract everything that you desire. All right, guys, take care.